Hey everyone, welcome back with another session of social studies. So we'll continue the same chapter, that is major landforms, the last question that we have. So in the previous sessions we have discussed about the different kinds of landforms, that is we have mountains, plateaus, plains, deserts. So all these things, all different kinds of landforms we have discussed. Now we will discuss about rivers. Alright, so let's begin. So rivers are a natural source of water, isn't it? So without any human interference, a river keeps on flowing. Now a river is a naturally flowing water course. So it flows naturally, there is no human interruption, no human interference are there. Okay, so the water from the rain or melted ice flows in the form of streams. Okay, so these streams, they join together and they form a river. Alright, now the river thus formed flows through the plains and finally it empties itself into a sea or an ocean. Understood? Now from the origin of the rivers till their mouth, these rivers pass through different stages. So there are three courses of a river, or you can say there are three stages of a river. Now what are they? Now the main courses of a river, these are divided into three types. First is the upper course, or you can call it the young course. Second, the middle course. And third we have, that is the lower course. See the picture here. Upper one, it starts from the source, okay, and then it gradually it comes here in the middle course, and lastly the lower course, and finally it enters into its mouth, that is a sea or an ocean. Okay, so let's discuss them one by one. First we have, that is the upper or the young course. Now in this course the river flows at a high speed. Alright, the river channels are very narrow, so that's why the river cuts a deep valley. Okay, and in this stage the river carries very little water. Alright, but the speed is very. Okay, so some special features of this stage are the formation of waterfalls, rapids, canyons, and many other things. Okay, so all these waterfalls, rapids, and canyon, these takes place in these upper course. These are formed in these upper course. All right. Now next move on to the next course, that is the middle course. Now here the river slows down in speed as it reaches the plain land. Here the river valley is broad and full of water from all the streams that join the river along its way. Okay, so at some places the slow rivers, they forms bends. They form bend. These are called meanders. All right, like river Ganga, like as an example if we take it, so it has a meandering course from Allahabad to Varanasi. Okay, from Allahabad to Varanasi it has a meandering course. And there is a place called Sangam, we also know it as Prayagraj, where these three rivers, Alaknanda, Bhagirathi, and they merge and form a meandering course. Alright, now next we have, that is the lower course. Now in the lower course the river enters a big water body such as a sea, or you can take it as an ocean. Now here the speed of the water is very slow. Understood? Now the volume of water in a river is at its greatest in the lower course. Why? Due to the contribution of water from the tributaries. So different tributaries comes and join the big rivers. So that's why the volume of the water increases. Alright, now the river channel is very deep in this lower course and wide, and the land around the river is flat land. Alright, so the river, it divides itself into many small channels and thus forming a delta. Now, so as we are talking about all these things, so what is a delta? So, a delta is a flat alluvial area at the mouth of some rivers where the main stream or river splits up into several distributaries. See the pictures here. Okay, now these delta, these are triangular in shape. Now finally, the river moves very slowly to join the sea at a place called its mouth. Alright, now these deltas are very important in human civilization. Alright, so they are major agricultural production centers and also population centers. Why? Because the areas are very fertile, the soil is very fertile, so that's why most of the agricultural productions are done in these areas. Alright, so as the agriculture production is more, so that's why the population is also more in these delta areas. Understood? And these deltas, they can also provide the coastline defense to a particular country. Okay, so these deltas also provide coastline defense to us. Understood? Now, if we take for an example the Sundarban Delta. The Sundarban Delta in West Bengal is one of the most popular deltas in India, and also it is one of the largest delta we have in this whole world. One of the largest. Okay, so the Sundarban Delta in West Bengal is one of the most popular deltas in India. It is formed by Ganga and Brahmaputra and Meghna rivers, which flow into the Bay of Bengal. Okay, now this Sundarban Delta, how the name came? The Sundarban Delta derived its name from the Sundari tree, which grows well in the marshland. Alright, now it's the world's largest and fastest growing delta. And this region, this Sundarban region, is densely covered by mangrove forests, and it is the home of Royal Bengal tiger. Alright, so this way this Sundarban Delta is one of the most popular deltas in India. Understood, everyone? So that's all we have in this session. I hope you liked it. I hope it helped you a lot. Okay, so see you in the next session with some other different topics. Okay, bye bye.